Your neighbor and friend, complete restoration.
So, you're here, Envoy Mortgage. What's that?
Envoy Mortgage. Well, I started in mortgage in 2001 in Kalispell. I worked for two other companies before myself and my business partner started Envoy Mortgage in April of 2024. Our reasons for moving from the other brand that we had launched is really to get back to community focus. The corporate world had purchased our predecessor, and we are not really interested in that. We want to make sure that what we have to offer meets the needs of our community. And we made a big splash and took most of the market share while we were there. Bay Equity was purchased by Redfin, which is a bad word here for our agents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to boogie, Brian.
Oh, man. Well, you know, the landmines that you step on in this community, sometimes you got to be like, watch out.
Yeah. And we knew the moment that Redfin purchased Bay, we had to find a new home.
Yeah.
And we found that with Envoy.
Okay. Now, when you did that, were there any moments where you're like, oh my God, this is not what I thought it was? Or were you already preconditioned to like, nah, we knew what we were getting into?
We knew we couldn't stay where we were. And
got it.
The five of us had generations, just years and years, decades of experience. So we knew that if we were together, that we wouldn't fail. It was scary. It was jumping off a cliff. It was leaving the number one market shareholder in mortgage to do our own thing. And that came with a lot of emotional challenges. Some of them felt like family, and those relationships were damaged for a really long time.
Sure.
Some of them probably forever.
Gotcha.
But we knew we had to make a different choice.
It's so different when you feel like the ship that you're on is sinking. Mm-hmm. And when you say it, nobody listens.
Yes.
Eventually there's a point where you're just like, I'm jumping off then, you know?
Well, right. We were told that this is how it is. And if you don't like it, you can go elsewhere.
Yep.
That's what they said. So we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So, yep.
Then in comes Envoy.
Envoy.
Which is kind of like, I don't know, is this the Michelangelo piece right here or something? Like I'm at mastery right now, and this is the best thing ever. Is that kind of what this is?
Envoy is great. They allow us the autonomy to make changes and do things the way we would like them to be done. We're still in full control of our finances, myself and Janice. We are able to give back to the community in the ways that we deem, that fills our cup, our hearts. Mm-hmm. And it's big enough that we have access to all of the programs that are needed, but small enough that I can call the president right now. If I text him, he would respond while we're sitting here.
Okay. So, sorry if my brain is not there yet.
It's like a franchise,
sure,
so to speak.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We're mortgage bankers, so we fund our own loans and we transfer a majority of servicing elsewhere post-closing.
And I know my loan ends up with like a 2.35% loan that I'll never give up.
Keep it forever.
Yeah. But it's like I found that loan, which was, half a percentage point less than everywhere else, thanks to somebody just like yourself.
Right. Yes. We have the outlets and the big warehouse lines to compete because we're able to sell a bulk of loans, a package of loans to investors. Mm-hmm. And that provides us with more competitive interest rates for the most part.
And mortgage is all you do.
Mortgage is all I do.
Yeah. So you're not mixing commercial and auto and,
Nope.
personal and all these other vehicles. It's like laser focus, only get the best of what's here, right?
Right. Yeah.
So tell me about the community thing. Like what is that?
Yeah. So I grew up here. I graduated from Flathead. My husband was born at the Kalispell Hospital on the east side of town.
I went there and got shots.
Yeah.
Hate that place because of that.
Yeah.
It's the only memory I ever have of that place. I think 4-year-old Brian was like, "This is torture."
Yeah. Well, I grew up here.
So you grew up here. This is your place.
It's my place. Mm-hmm. I've seen it expand in good ways and some ways that maybe I wouldn't choose.
Sure.
My hope is that we can continue to support the culture that still exists. It's one of the reasons that people move here. So my hopes and prayers are that culture doesn't go away. So Janice and I like to give back to the community through, well, we're Rotarians, longtime Rotarians. I don't know if you know much about Rotary.
Not really.
But we help fund projects for local sports facilities, parks, grants to help the Bob Marshall. Anything you can think of is what we want to be here for. The community has done so much for us in the way of business and support throughout our transitions over the past few years with business that we just think it's vital that we reciprocate that. Yeah.
Rotary sounds like something maybe I need to learn more about.
You should come be our guest. I won't be in town next week, but let's make sure you come with me in the next several
That's usually
weeks.
how it goes. As soon as I find out, it's like too late.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So that resonates with me. How would you characterize the culture that you'd like to preserve? Like, what are the elements that are like, we definitely want to keep this?
I think relationships are vital, not hiding behind emails, phone calls, and technology. Sitting face to face is something that I value and that I'm seeing come back into my industry. Whereas from 2020 to even 2024, that had really gone away. And I think that personalities and patience shifted away from kindness. Because of that, there was a lot of polarity and being able, it's one thing to say something nasty to somebody over an email, but they're less likely to say it when you're face to face. So bringing that relationship and kindness and compassion back in to what I do personally and into the community, I think is key, because we're able to hear each other when I'm sitting here and I'm looking at you in your eyes and vice versa. And I think that was lost for several years.
Well, we sit in a unique situation in our role where we usually come to clients when they're at their worst.
Right.
So we get a lot of, I'm going to call them unkind statements. But I think my team, I'm really proud of them because they seem to get that, you know, and they're patient through that process. And it's like, don't take that personally. I mean, they're just, imagine that you're doing this. This is a really bad day.
Right.
Like, and I don't know, 9.5 times out of 10, that same individual comes back and it's like, you guys were great. And I'm sorry, I was not feeling so good. It's like, look, we know that. Like, yeah, we're not first responders. We call ourselves second responders. But I mean, we're not coming in because it's a good situation. You know, this isn't, we're not party planners or something, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And if something goes sideways, instead of hiding behind email or a phone call, I would assume that you're stepping up and you're having a face-to-face conversation with that person.
We do. Or
Right.
or a phone call. Like, we absolutely do. Listen, anytime that I or Quinn can't answer the phone, you get Peter. Peter's great. He's our AI who is probably more efficient than any of us. But the nice piece is Peter will take the message, he'll drop it into my text and be like, hey, it was so-and-so, they called about this. I call back and I go, hey, so-and-so, Peter relayed that it was about this, so what can I do, you know? And I think it creates some pretty good, like, connection on the conversation. So it's such a fine line to balance, right? Because, like, AI is here, it's not going away. How do we use it responsibly and not lose that human element like you're talking about as well?
I call it thoughtful use of technology.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that people inside of Envoy that work for your team are also beneficiaries of some kind of culture you're creating there too. That'd be
There's
fair to
support.
say.
I try to provide support for every facet of my life and every friendship, every community that I'm involved with, any board that I sit on, whatever it is. I want to make sure that I'm present and that I'm not overcommitted, because that's the worst thing you could do, is overcommit yourself and not have focus and be present for what you signed up for.
Okay. Sounds like mission and purpose is probably something we're pretty well aligned on. Services wise, I wonder, like, how is there an opportunity for any kind of gluing between what it is that we do for each other or for our clients?
I would say yes.
Okay.
I am constantly fielding phone calls and inquiries about who can help me with this deferred maintenance project that I need to get my house on the market. This came up in my home inspection. Who do you know and trust?
They talk to you about that?
All the time. All the time. All the time.
And who do you say?
Well, honestly, I don't say anything unless it's a roof. If it's a roof, I know roofers, right? If it's a plumber, I know a specific plumber. But as far as an overall project, there's not a lot of contractors or companies right now that have capacity to take it on. So if it's an individual trade, I probably know someone because I grew up here.
Okay. That was my answer until I moved back, and then I was like, oh, never mind. Everybody's in different places now.
How long were you gone?
15 years. Yeah, so I left in '09. I was sitting on top of a house in Lakeside listening to the radio. I think Obama elections had just happened. And then there was talk about the war, and there was an Army reservist who had come on, and he was being interviewed by the DJ, and they were talking about him having to leave his family and go on a deployment because there wasn't enough personnel who had signed up.
Was it Jeff Waters?
I don't remember. I don't remember who this person was.
I swear that's a
I remember they're like in their 30s, and I remember thinking that old guy.
Yeah.
That old guy has to leave his family right now because not enough young guys are, bucking up and signing up. So then I heard this testimony of this guy who had to leave his family, and I don't know, my heart just came out, and I was like,
yeah,
I'm signing up.
Yeah, one of my friends
literally signed up, and 5 months later, I was in San Diego. Yeah. So did that for a while. Spent 3 years in Japan, and then came back to Cali. I had married my wife, and we were living down there going to school. Ended up in consulting. Ended up doing corporate consulting for a little over a decade. Made great money, but it was just didn't feel very connected to purpose. Make things more efficient, faster, better. It's fun, right? But there's some soul kind of missing. And at the same time, I was it just didn't mean that much to my individual family. My wife certainly didn't give a crap how good I was.
You're not a celebrity in your own home ever. I'm not either. No matter what everybody tells me.
Yeah, exactly. So it was that, but it was also my family had some needs, and I quit my corporate job, and it was really only a few months later we were buying a house in Montana, and I was going to spend time working with my family and on things I care about in the community that I care way too much about.
Yep.
And that ended up being a lot more than I thought it would be. Yeah. I actually kind of can't imagine not being attached to this place anymore. Okay. So before my parents had gone through a divorce, it was easy for me to kind of enjoy being so far from it. But now I'm back and I'm plugged in and I see what the needs are and the growth, and I'm yeah, these are my people. This is my place. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, my kids go to high school here. Neither of them want to leave long term. They want to go off to college, do their thing, and travel. But both of them want to remain here and be rooted here. And I think that's beautiful.
Have you heard of the Walk-Holes Innovation Entrepreneurship Center?
I have.
Have you been yet?
No, I have not.
Should.
Okay.
I think that's the first room where I went into, and I saw a whole smattering of people that everybody is just thinking about how do we grow this place responsibly in a way that there's a variety of industry.
Yep.
Which means our kids can stay here.
Yes.
That was the universal message was, got all these very successful people, some in state, some out of state, and they're all our biggest concern is that people can raise their families here and then their kids have to leave. Yep. Which has been the story here for, I don't even know how long. I think since timber and mining industries went away. Yeah. Yeah.
Remember the signs, the green signs?
This family supported by timber. Yep.
All over.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. I don't know if the mining thing was really a big deal here. My family was loggers. They were fur traders before that, but it was always logging timbers.
Yeah, logging was always my family. My husband's family had some mining history down in Butte. That's where his family are from, and then they were farmers over in eastern Montana.
Yeah, it's a cool group. I would highly encourage going and checking it out.
Do they do it every week?
No, it's once a month.
Okay.
So you kind of gotta get it, because if you don't, it'll be a while.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Right now, it's still very much in like the early stages. So it's like they get the building, they get the thing. There's no programming built into it yet, and so there's like a lot of opportunity, I think, for community members to come kind of support and craft a little bit of like where this goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I would assume it'll be well attended.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. My undergrad was in entrepreneurship, so like this was right up my alley. So I think it's super important.
Were there any high schoolers there or college?
It was college. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that there's some younger people joining the ranks in those rooms. It's important.
I'm like, we could use more of that.
Solve
I like
corrects.
that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
We need you. Yes.
Yeah. So much stuff to do.
I get it.
Yeah. It's been a whirlwind, because I took over ownership in January. That ended up being more than I thought it would be. And then like the team and I, we got some pretty big like 2030 plans that require a lot of push right now. So yeah.
Got to build up that energy.
Yeah.
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 Well, it sounds like you have a great team behind you, beside you.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have a caller saying this morning, like, man, just want to reiterate, guys, like, we can't do any of this by ourselves. Like this, it takes a team to do this.
Good.
Yeah.
Hungry.
Yeah.
Good.
Hungry, growth mindset. They just want to like have a place where they can grow into a career. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm all about. Like, this isn't a come here and I'm going to grind you until you quit. Like, this is, I'm probably going to push you to develop yourself until you turn around and do that for the next one.
Right.
Well, I appreciate you giving me a line of how your activities every day intertwine with what ours are. Now I'm thinking about what ours do intertwine with yours.
Yes.
Because rarely do we go, do you got insurance? And they're like, no. But you got a good mortgage company? Like, that's not...
Yeah.
That's not how that goes. But
Right.
Do you guys do renovation construction lending, or...
We do renovation lending, but we have, if there's equity in the home, we have a home equity line of credit that is a streamlined process that funds in 5 business days.
What?
It's very cool. It's an automated evaluation appraisal. And you're going to be maxed at 80% cumulative loan to value. The rates are competitive with what you're going to find locally. No title work. There's an origination charge that's either 1.99% or 2.99% of the loan amount.
Okay.
It's a HE loan, so you would draw, let's say you draw $100,000.
Yep.
It's going to be, that $100,000 is going to be fixed at the rate. Let's just call it 7%. And then as you pay it back and you have availability to draw, then it's at the current market rate, and that percentage is fixed at that time until you pay it off. So it protects you against market volatility. That's nice. We can do a 30-year amortization as well to keep that payment nice and low. We have people that use it to spruce their house up to be sold. We have people that use it for full-on renovation. Recently, I had a couple who were victims of the awful windstorm. They had trees all on their house.
Okay.
These poor people.
Oh, man.
And as they were going through with their contractor, they were like, well, we're already in here. Let's do something else. Let's raise the roof, literally. So we did a home equity line of credit for them so that they had some supplemental funds to do what they wanted.
Was that in addition to their insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Wow. Yeah. So everything else you said is pretty normal. What's not normal is funding in 5 days. That's incredibly fast.
It is incredibly fast. Most of the time, We're using bank statements to qualify, not tax returns. It's looking at deposits into personal accounts. And then there is a remote online notary.
What? Sorry. Second thing that's not normal. What?
The online notary?
Yeah.
It's a video. So you'd hop on video with the notary. You're going to show your driver's license. And there's a couple of cross-referenced items and questions for security. This person on the screen across from you is going to notarize your documents as you electronically sign them.
Get out.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? I've helped veterans do that as well, up from overseas.
That's too cool. Yeah, because in the whole, like, gotta get a POA, you know, a DPOA, it's just, like, gets out of control.
Yeah.
You know?
It does. Right.
That's ideal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably gonna need it myself.
Yeah.
I
I'd
have
love
an
it. I'd love to see.
ugly exterior. The interior looks fantastic now, but the exterior is so gross.
Oh, no. Mm-hmm. It's another part of the culture that I hope remains. People waving at each other.
Yeah.
In the car.
Waving.
On the street. You know, they're from Montana. Everybody waves.
Yeah.
I was in Oregon one time, and I'm like, do you just wave at everybody? I'm like, yeah, we kind of just wave at everybody.
We're humans.
Yes. There you go. That's what it comes back to.
Yeah.
Humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Passion for one another, too. I mean, it's a unique thing that we're trapped inside of, right? It's all linear. It's all real time.
Uh-huh.
I like to say we're just real people doing real life and in real time. And unfortunately, none of us have any say over that. Yep. So
that's fact.
Yeah, it's happening. Give each other a break. And please, try and learn from your mistakes. Mm-hmm. Like, that's all anyone can ask.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Cool. Well, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Enjoy time with family this weekend. All right.
Very nice to meet you.
So call us today, complete restoration.